Welcome everybody to another modern video on the channel. I hope everybody is going to have a wonderful New Year's. Let's go ahead and bring in the New Year's right. We are going to be playing some Zoo today. A little bit of a different take on Zoo, if you'll notice here. It's actually a donation deck that we played live on the Twitch stream. Before we continue, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and please let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. So this Zoo deck is a little bit different, as you can see here. Now, the primary theme here is, we have our traditional domain payoffs. We have Scion of Draco, Territorial Kavu, which are, introductions from MH2 that really reward you for having 5 different types. Now, there's an easy way kind of to circumvent the 5 different types. You can actually do it with 2 lands, because the triomes are 3 different types. So if you combine, let's say, Indatha Triome, which is Plains, Swamp, Forest, with Steam Vents, which is Mountain Island, you now have 2 types on turn 2, which allows you to play a Scion of Draco for 2 mana or a fully powered Territorial Kavu. Now, traditionally with Zoo decks, you see other 2-drops, like sometimes Tarmogoyf, Tribal Flames, you see Ragavan, you see Lightning Bolt. We're doing things a little bit different here. So we have Cascade spells, Shardless Agent, Bloodbraid Elf, and you'll notice the only 2-mana card in our deck is Territorial Kavu. Technically, we have other cards that we can play for 1 or 2 mana. Dead Gone for 1 mana, which is just a fine removal spell. Fire Ice for 2 mana, which when you cascade into it, it sees the mana value as 4, but you can cast either half for 2 mana. And then I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger for these split cards. I know that it's harder to read the split cards, and you might not know it. You might not have seen this card before. Far and Away is a 2 mana bounce spell or a 3 mana make a player sacrifice a creature. You can fuse both halves. But the idea is they're removal spells that you can play for 2 or 3 mana, or sometimes 1 mana in the case of Dead Gone, but they don't cascade, right? So when you have a Shardless Agent, game 1, you always cascade into the same card, Territorial Kavu. The idea here is in your sideboard, you have a lot of heavy-hitting, really high-impact sideboard cards, like, for example, Sunset Revelry against Burn, Stony Silence potentially against Hammer Time, Kataki War's Wage in that same vein as well, Rest in Peace against Dredge, Draenith Magistrate against Cascade, Alpine Moon against Tron, Lavinia against, mostly here for Cascade, and sometimes Tron. But the idea is, in the post-board games, you cut all of your Territorial Kavus, and you bring in these these haymakers, the cards that you can cascade into, the 2-mana cards, and Shardless Agent, like, let's say, for example, you cut Territorial Kavu, you're playing against Burn. You cut Kavu and you bring in Revelry. You now have 7 copies of Revelry because you have 3 plus the 4 Shardless Agents that only cascade into Revelry. That's the idea that we're going for here. We're rounding out the deck. Again, we've gone over the removal spells, we've gone over the Scions. We also have Seasoned Pyromancer and Endurance, which are just really good 3-mana cards. Endurance is really good in the format. Seasoned Pyromancer allows you to filter through some additional lands and help you find gas. Bloodbraid Elf, again, doesn't always cascade into Shardless Agent, but if you look at the other options, Bloodbraiding into any of these 3 cards is not that bad. So we have that. And then rounding out the deck, obviously we have Fury. Our red count is pretty high because we have Pyromancer, Kavu, Elf, Dead Gone, and Fire Ice, so we have enough red spells to support Fury, and it's just a really good card. It effectively is a free spell. It doesn't cost you to play any mana for it when you evoke it, and it's a really powerful effect. And then the rounding out, again, we've already gone over kind of the sideboard bullets. That's kind of our big plan here, is when we, post-board, when these cards are the best cards in our sideboard, we will have more copies of them, and we just cut the Kavus. The rest of our sideboard here, there's really only 3 other cards to go over. Force of Vigor, which is here because I think the Hammer Time matchup is quite bad, so I think I want, I might even just want 4 copies of these. And then we have Teferi Time Raveler, which is another card that's good against Cascade, good against Control. Just a lot of niche spots, random stuff where Teferi comes up. And then last but not least, we can go over the mana base here. So again, we want our Triumph set up to be pairing with our Shockland, so Indatha plus Steam Vents, and then Ragavan plus Overgrown Tomb. These are the setups that allow you to give you all 5 types of mana on turn 2 to play a Kavu or a Draco. And then the rest of the deck is fetch lands that find those, so Bloodstained Mire, Misty Rainforest, Wooded Foothills, and then some other just, random shock lands, Temple Garden. We have more Steam Vents here because we do have an abundance of red cards. Like, red is our primary color, and the best setup is Indatha Steam Vents, which is why we have 2 Indathas and 3 Steam Vents. So that's going to be your most common, turn 1 fetch Triumph, turn 2 fetch Steam Vents. It's going to be your most common line with this deck. but just notating the mana base there. So this deck is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing it, and I hope y'all enjoy the video as much as I enjoyed playing it. So let's get into some games. I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Yorion. You know what's not good against Yorion? Dead Gone. Okay, this hand is a lot better. I'm going to put back one of the fetch lands, I think. Right, this one. Then we just go in Doth into Steam Vents. This hand plays. This hand definitely plays. This is Kavu into Shardlesses for Kavu. Why is this deck not running Rhinos over Kavu? That's a good question. I mean, Kavu's like a better top deck later on. So maybe that's where you get a little bit of percentage points. And also, well, the thing is like, you get a lot of splash hate against Chalice, and there's a decent amount of Chalice rolling around. So, like, you get to dodge Chalice, and you know what I mean? Sean Bruno, thank you for the 13. Yeah, EE and Chalice. So you get to dodge both of those. I mean, this is still medium against EE, right? Oh, God. Got the main deck Endurance. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Do I cast the Endurance now? They don't usually have counter spells. Oh, wait, I just have the fucking Kavu in play. Hello? Yeah, I just like I have the Kavu in play. Okay. Well, this is awkward. Yeah, Rhinos can't do that, huh? I mean, I think playing the Shardless is fine, right? Rhinos can't do that. Amalgam, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate that. Reading the card explains what the card does. What's the blue-black card? It is Far and Away the worst card in my deck. Far and away the worst card in my deck. Just kidding. Could Edict them. Nah, I'll just take the trade. I'll attack with both. Probably loot away a land. Yeah, I'll just loot away a land and attack with both. Hold up the Endurance. Is that the Kavu bug? It's the new Kavu bug, right? Solitude? I don't like that. Alright. My Kavus are all dead. Kavus are all dead. Guess I got a 2-2. Go. A little awkward. Can I bounce my Kavu? Oh, I could have. That might have been a good play. I definitely should have done that, right? Yeah, I probably should have done that. Do I just want to run out the Endurance? I mean, if they have an Archon, I have an Edict anyways. I think I'm just going to run out the Endurance. I mean, I guess the problem with bouncing my own Kavu is then if they have Persist plus Grave, I don't have Endurance up, and I don't have this in my hand anymore, so I'm kind of just like stone cold dead to Persist plus Grave. You know what I mean? So it's close. I don't know. You could make an argument either way, I think. It's pretty close. But now I have 2 ways to deal with, you know, Archon, so it's not too bad. Can also bounce and recast Endurance. Oh, sure, yeah, we can also do that. Like, if they go for Persist Grave, we now have 5 mana to be able to go bounce plus recast. Gifts Ungiven. Okay. So if they just get Rights, then I can respond to Rights and, yeah, pick this up, recast it. Far and Away does have Fuse. Yes, Far and Away does have Fuse. New stream schedule is going to be 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And then I'm still going to do Saturday streams. I'm going to take Friday off for FNM, but I am still going to do Saturday streams for the challenges. I'll probably do like a full 8-hour stream on Saturdays. And then Sunday's going to be like my off day. This is a cool line. What is it? Far? This is a sweet line. Bounce my own endurance. I was never in the trophy race. It was all a myth. I was never part of the trophy race. It was all a figment of your imagination. I mean, if I cast that, I still beat an Archon trigger, right? Because I just sack a token, they go to 4, and then still die. So I don't need this dead gone. I don't know if their deck has Verdicts. Even if they have Verdicts, I have Pyromancer, though. It's probably stupid to cast this, but... Yeah, there's actually no reason to cast this, right? I should have just held the land. What I should have done was hold the land. And then if they Archon me, I could discard the land, keep the Shardless. Yeah, this was stupid. I should just held the land. Okay, well, I didn't get verdicted. Did not get punished. That was bad, though. Should not have done that. Okay, now we get to employ... Well, it's weird, right? Because I know Rest in Peace is good, but I kind of like the Kavus, too, because the Kavus are also Graveyard Hate. Right? Revelry's bad, Stony's bad, Moon's bad, Forest bad, Teferi's okay, Lavinia's bad, Magistrate's bad. I mean, these are my only 2 playable cards, right? Carry on. I think Kavu is still pretty good. Because it is also Graveyard Hate. Maybe I just cut like 2 Dead Gons and bring in the Rip and the Tef. I think I like that. It's one of those things where obviously if I cascade into Rest in Peace, that's good, but... Dragon these nuts? No, I don't want to cut the dragon. Oh, well, or you could just have the Rest in Peace in your opening hand, right? That's how we drew it up, huh? I mean, it's not that Fury's, you know, insane or anything, but I think my other options just aren't that good. Like, if you look at the rest of my sideboard, none of these cards are very good. Maybe the Dead Gons are better to keep over the Furies, but... So we gotta get Indafa. Right, show me that counterspell. Show me that counterspell, opponent. Well, I don't want them to show me the counterspell, but... They did not have the counterspell. Easy. Probably a Prismatic Ending. Skyclave Apparition. Alright, alright, alright. Still playing. Just fill up my water bottle here for a sec. Hold on. Now what? Tapped Red Saurus and Kavu? I think it's tapped Red Saurus Kavu, right? Could Pyromancer. No, let's just go Kavu tapped Red Saurus. I'm not used to seeing Skyclave in Reanimator. It's kind of throwing me off a little. Oh, do they just have Grave plus Persist? That's not good for me. That is definitely not good for me. Well, now we're pretty fucked. Yep, now we are pretty fucked. Fury also only deals 4 damage. So do I have to, like, sack the Kavu, discard the land, and double Fury this thing? Oh, I guess I can Fury plus Fire. So I can discard a Fury and keep the land. Yeah, and then just go Fury plus Fire. I still lose everything, but... I still lose everything. It's fine, right? We'll be fine. Totally fine. Determined by the skies. I mean, alright. Plays. That one plays. That might actually be my best draw, right? I can't kill the Skyclave too, right? I only have 6 damage and I need 7. Yeah, I can't kill the Skyclave. Unfortunately. So go red this. And then land Kavu. And the Kavu, again, is my best draw because now if they don't have an answer for the Kavu, I can eat the Archon. So if they don't have another reanimation spell, I can now attack and eat the Archon. So as bad as it is, that was my best draw. But they probably just have another reanimation spell. Or they just have ending, which is also bad. I'll take an endurance. Or do you pitch Pyro and bid a 3/3? Oh, yeah, you're right. I should have discarded the Pyro to the Archon. Yeah, you're right. Okay. 100%. I didn't think about that. I should have discarded Archon, or I should have discarded Pyro and then pitched the 3/3. You're right. That thought hadn't crossed my mind, but you're 100% right. We know they have Yorion. Okay. It's a spell that they can't Skyclave. They can Yorion blink the seas, and the Yorion does blank the 4/4, so. Or they just draw rates and we're dead. Alright, you win. Game number 3. Yeah, the song is really good. We should make a petition for all the Hammer Time players to only play this song whenever they're playing Hammer Time. It's a new rule. If you're playing Hammer Time in a Modern League and you have headphones, you have to be listening to the song on repeat the entire league. You want to play Dead Gun over Fury? Maybe. Maybe I should have cut the Furies. Yeah, I should probably cut the Furies for Dead Guns. Sand plays, right? Go Indatha into Steam Vents. And then curve this into this or something along those lines. I think I might play the Scion on turn 2, because that's the one that doesn't get endinged. Doesn't get endinged or Skyclaved. So I think playing the Scion is better here. Yeah, Point North is just awesome. They're so good. With the Shardless agents, it's like we're running 1.8 copies of Rest in Peace. Well, we still have the Kavus in. See, the idea is normally your sideboard cards are like high impact enough to the point where you can like actually board out some of the other cards. You know what I mean? Alright, attack for 4. Like, there are going to be matchups where Kavu is not at its best, and you would just want to cut Kavu for your sideboard cards. This is not one of those matchups because Kavu is still graveyard hate, so I'm willing to keep in the Kavus, but I'm just going to play Kavu here, I think. And pass. Do exclamation point deck. Okay, makes things awkward. Because now I don't have double green to cast the... Huh. Interesting. I want to play around... I want to play around land 4, Grave Persist. So I guess I can fetch Indatha Triome, attack for 9, and then upkeep Ice, right? Yeah, just not play the Scion this turn. I think that makes sense. So fetch Indatha, attack for 9. I guess I will... I could also loot away the forest, right? Try to find a green card. But then I don't have the forest in hand. I guess I could loot away the Scion if I'm not casting it, right? Or I could just not loot. Like, my hand is pretty good. I'll just get their land. I kind of like my hand. Let's just upkeep stuff, ice them. I think that should be good enough, right? Oh, I guess they could have Faithful Mending. They could upkeep, use these 2 mana to Faithful Mending, and then go land persist, right? So this land loses to their hand being Mending land. You know what I mean? Okay. They don't have the Mending. Unless they're casting it now, but... They do have the Mending. Okay, alright. This could get bad for us. This could be bad for us. Alright, Balloon with a song request. What you got for me? Chemical Bond Res. Alright, let's see. So we can find the knot. Alright, so here we see the downsides to playing the Scion of Draco. Downsides to playing Scion of Draco. This hand is not keepable. This hand's not great either, but I don't think I'm going to go to 5. So the idea of this deck is mostly... I like the Overgrown team, actually. So the idea, I guess, like the core concept is you're a zoo deck, right? So you have like traditional zoo payoffs, like Territorial, Kavu, and stuff. And the idea is that you're playing Shardless Agent, and game 1, the only card that you can Shardless Agent into is Territorial Kavu. And the idea is you board out some of, like, when you have a matchup that will say Draenith is your best card, or Rest in Peace your best card, or Stone is your best card, you can just board out the Kavus to have more copies of those cards in post-board games. That's the idea. So it's like taking a lot of the same elements that traditional zoo decks have, but putting, you know, a bit of a different twist on it. Big oof. Thank you for the 5. Happy new-ish year to you as well. Where's my good Steam vents? There it is. I have the good Steam vents. Perfect. Perfect. We're doing like what we did during the Cascade Tidball deck. Similar, yeah. Whereas, like, you know, game 1, you have exactly one thing to cascade into, and then in your post-board games, you just board this out. Now, obviously, you know, there are going to be situations where, like, I think last round was a good example, you know? Round number 1 of our last league, or of this, actually, our last match, right? We played against Reanimator, and I think it made a lot of sense for us to keep in Territorial Kavu. Even though we have one Rest in Peace in our sideboard, Kavu is still really good against them because it's also Graveyard Hate, right? But there's going to be other matchups where that might not be the case, you know, where Kavu is not quite as good and you'd rather just have more access to your sideboard cards. I think Pyromancer holding up Endurance. I think I'm going to hold up Endurance here, because playing Pyro into 2 mana is worse if they have a counterspell. Yeah, last league was tough. Last league was tough. They've been to Heat. Jeskai Murktide, huh? Looks like. What was the last league deck? Last league deck was some Saheeli. It was Saheeli Glimpse. It was not great. It was not great. Not Teamer. Are there any modern decks that plays 4 Arid Mesa and at least 2 Scalding Tarn? Are there any modern deck that plays 4 Arid Mesa and at least 2 Scalding Tarn? Burn? Does that count? Song goes so hard, dude. So good. See, I think this might be the exact same thing as last time, where I think Kavu is still really good, but Rest in Peace is also really good. So I think Fury sucks, and what I want to do is I want to cut those for Rest in Peace and Force. I don't know if they have Blood Moon because they're 3 colors, like they showed us a breeding pool, but I want to hedge versus it because Blood Moon is one of the easiest ways for us to lose. So I think I like hedging against Blood Moon here. The last song was Overlooked by the Ghost Inside. Yeah, maybe Boros Prowess too. I haven't played that deck yet, Def Jad. I know that Da Vinci's been crushing with it. Da Vinci was here in chat earlier. Maybe still here. Da Vinci? Seems too sketchy, right? That's a lot of tap lands. I think I still have to keep this one. I think I'm going to put back the second Force. That blue-white deck looks pretty interesting, though. Local Mass Band. What do we got? See if I've heard of them before. I have not heard of Regime before. All right, we'll try it. We'll see how it is. We'll try it. It is a valid excuse. We'll play it after this song. Drew a red source. I still think it makes more sense for me to play Rogarin on 1 into Indatha plus Dead Gone. So if I have a lot of 3-drops in my deck, so if I draw a 3-drop, I can cast it. I think I like this better. It sucks if they, like, get turn 2 Delirium, but turn 2 Delirium doesn't happen that often. Torpor Orb. What does that shut off in my deck? Shuts off Endurance and Pyromancer. Okay, it shuts off a decent amount, but I can live with that. I want to kill this thing now while they're tapped out. Well, I boarded out Fury. But yeah, it does shut off Fury too. They don't know that I boarded out Fury. What do we got? I mean, Archmage's Charm? Consider. I hope they just slam a Murktide. Then I can just go end of turn Edict, untap Bloodbraid Elf. Okay. They're not casting Murktide. Let's get, I guess, Steam Vents? Where's the good Steam Vents? There it is. Alright, my turn. Just play Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid into Shardless would be gas here. Come on, Bloodbraid Shardless, please. Alright, well. 3-4, no abilities. Still got a 3-4 reach, though, so it's not the worst, you know. We still have an out to a Murktide. We're going to counter the Endurance. The good news is we actually confuse this next turn, so if they, let's say, play 1-drop into Murktide, we can just fuse this, and the way that the fuse works is you resolve them all at the same time, so the bounce happens and then they sack, so if they have, you can bounce their 1-drop and then you still get the Murktide with this. I like this. I do enjoy this song. I'm gonna play my fetch land, so I have the option to cast both halves if I want to or need to. It's a banger. Ragavan. Should I Edict the Ragavan? This could be bait. I think I will. I don't really want Ragavan hitting me. It's a pretty good song. Okay, Ragavan down. Open up the pit. Open up the pit, indeed. Alright, switch tap land. Need to find a threat. I'm going to keep the Indathatrium in my deck, so if I draw a land, I can cycle it. Because lands are obviously not good draws, so I'd rather just keep the cycle land in my deck. Alright, that plays. I'm going to play around Dispute, just in case they have one of those, because they did show us Dispute earlier. Okay. Not too bad. You won FNM last night with Grixis Shadow. Felt really good. Nice. Congratulations, Wonderwonk. Counter target spell. Alright, your turn. They got 2 cards. What are their 2 cards? Lightning Bolt, Shardless Agent. And Ragavan. Okay. Take a Ragavan hit. See if their last card's Murktide. They got a 2/2. Still pretty good on this board, you know. 2/2 is better than nothing. Might as well cast it, right? Ooh, 3/3. 3/3, even better. Alright, let's do this. Need to find a spell here. Kind of embarrassing that we have this Force of Vigor. Alright, spell acquired. Spell acquired. Okay. Should I kill the Torpor Orb just in case I draw a Seasoned Pyromancer? Because I would really want to be mana efficient here. So I think I am going to cast it. I think I just kind of boarded this in, like, just in case they had Blood Moon, but there's no way they have Blood Moon with this mana base, right? So I'm not gonna have the Force in my deck for game 3. Well, let's see. Question is, do I untap my land? Untapping my land is good if I draw Bloodbraid Elf, because I have 4 mana left over, so I think it's worth it. Alright. Do we offer the trade? Can I? No, I can't cut them off Delirium, right? They have 2 artifacts. Land, creature, instant, sorcery. Yeah. How many sorceries? Just 1? Yeah, but then they have 3 creatures, 2 artifacts, pile of instants, pile of lands. This is tough. This race doesn't favor me, right? Because I'm trading 5 for 5. But if I don't attack and they draw heat, it's horrendous for me. I think I have to hold, though. I just hope they don't draw heat. Please no heat, please no heat, please no heat. Please no heat. Yeah, like, trading 5 damage when they have a Ragavan connecting is pretty bad too, right? I'm doing good today, Taco. How are you today? Yeah, next turn we got some Spyros. Like, next turn the attack makes way more sense, right? Because I have the Spyros to blank the Ragavan. So next turn my attack is actually not too bad, because I have these. So next turn I probably will attack. I wonder if they're tanking this long, if they drew Bolt and they're debating on attacking with both and trying to bolt my Kavu. Okay. Alright, I'm definitely going to attack, because now I can loot away the land. Discard Bloodstain Mire. Okay. Let's see if they double block. They're just going to take it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to cast this Pyromancer because this is a much better use of my mana. Also, if I cast this Pyromancer and they drew a counterspell, then I'm in really bad shape because then they get to connect with both, right? So now I can just go... Oh, I know what they tanked on last turn. They tanked on suiciding this just to exile the Pyromancer. That's what they were tanking on last turn, which makes sense. That's definitely what they were tanking on. They were weighing the benefits and you know, negatives of suiciding the Kavu just to eat the Pyromancer. Okay, exile the land. So they probably loot here, right? Yeah. I'm going to take the 3. I'm not going to block. Do I have Delirium? Creature, instant, land, artifacts? Yeah, but I barely have Delirium. I only have Delirium because I have 1 Shardless, right? I think this deck doesn't have enough types for that kind of stuff. Like, I have Delirium, but barely. Not enough enchantments, not enough artifacts. If you're doing that stuff, you probably have to play Bauble, but then the Cascade stuff gets worse, so... Looks like they found a Murktide, which is definitely not great for me. Definitely not great for me. Especially if they also found a counterspell. Okay, this is tough. So what are my outs to Murktide Regent? Let's take a look at the deck list. I have 4 Deadgons. I have 1 more of these, and I could tap it for a turn. Which means I think I should not cast Bloodbraid Elf. I also boarded into Fairy, so that's an out too. But if I cast Bloodbraid Elf, and then Pyromancer, I have no mana to play Deadgon, right? So I think I'm just going to cast Pyromancer. They also might counter this. I doubt they would, though. They'd probably just let this go. I actually can't cast that. If I cast it, I'm just dead on board. That's hilarious. Well... Yeah, right on time, right? Right on time. I'm wondering if I should suicide the Kavu to try and find an answer. I probably have to, right? I think I have to. Yeah, I think I have to. Oh. Okay, never mind. Your turn. So we got a 1. Yeah, we would have cascaded into it, which would have just put me dead on board. That's hilarious. I would have hit the rest in peace off the Bloodbraid Elf, and then I would have just been dead. Well, I could have chosen to not cast it, right? Jump blocker. Okay, go. Jump blocker. I mean, if I find a bounce spell, bounce this plus cast Rest in Peace is not a bad turn, you know? Assuming they don't find a counterspell, of course, but... When I rip here? I guess I probably could rip, right? Yeah, because I have to chump block anyways. There's, like, no reason not to rip. Yeah, okay, I guess you're right. Might as well rip, right? Yeah, there's no reason not to, because I have to chump either way. Draco gives red first strike, which is not relevant enough against their 3-3. How come we add Rhinos to this deck? That's a good question. I don't know if it's like a juke. Like, somebody was asking if you wanted to just be Rhinos game 1 and then just board out the Rhinos for the sideboard cards. Because there aren't as many Chalices and Explosives main deck. And so the idea is you're all in a Rhinos game 1, and then games 2 and 3 you cut the Rhinos for the sideboard cards. So that might be an idea. you know. That might be a decent way to go. I could see that. I don't know if that's better or worse than just playing Kavu, but... Alright, game number 3. I did not bring in the Teferi. Maybe I should have. Yeah, we're not going to bring in these forces. We saw a lot of their deck and they didn't have Blood Moon. I just don't think they're a Blood Moon gamer. Especially because they're playing 3 colors. It wouldn't make sense for them to play Blood Moon. Maybe just 1 Fury? These other cards all suck, right? Go like this. Again, this is another one of those matchups where I don't think I want to board out the Kavu and only have Rest in Peace as my only cascade spell, because I think Kavu is still pretty good against them, but Lavinia doesn't do enough against them. It doesn't stop Murktide. This is non-creature. Yeah. This hand's a little land heavy, but I think it's keepable. It's got turn 2 Kavu, turn 3 Endurance, which is a good curve. It just needs to not draw lands, you know. We fear what we can't see. Let's get Indatha Triome. Said no lands, please. Good news is they probably can't kill this thing on turn 2. Yeah, Kavu can help filter lands out, so it's not too bad. Let's go to attacks first. I'm gonna loot away the basic mountain, I think. Okay. I'm gonna play Misty and pass. I could slam the Endurance now because they can't counter it, but I think they're maybe incentivized to cast some spells pre-combat, and if they do, then I can just swallow up a Channeler with the Endurance. Yeah. If they just go to attack for 2, I think I might just take 2 and end of turn the Endurance, because if I cast the Endurance mid-combat, if they have counterspell, these could get turned on. You know what I mean? Okay. So they can find heat. So this is instant land sorcery. Okay, that's fine. They still could have heat. Like, if they could hit a bauble off of this and have heat, you know? What are we doing? Kavu Tribal, that 2-drop would eat the DRC right now. The other 2-drop. What are the 2-drop? Does Dryad turn on Kavu? Yes. Yeah, because Dryad makes all of your lands all the types. Exiled Ragavan. They're probably just not going to attack, right? Good no attack. Good no attack. I'm just racing them. That was a good draw, too. God. Just gonna attack with both, loot away the garden. Jesus. Well, now I guess we just have it all, huh? They're at 6. I'm just gonna kill all of their stuff now while they're tapped out. Yeah, this is a beatdown. I think it's worth doing this while they're tapped out, right? I think so. I don't really think this can go wrong. Because they only have 1 card type. They're not even close to Delirium. They want to dash Ragavan that's like half of their mana. I'm kind of fine with that. Like, I know I could save the fire for their turn to try and get another Ragavan, but if they want to spend their turn dashing Ragavan, I don't think I care. Charm doesn't do anything. They can't steal either of my creatures. Heat's not turned on. We have Murktide covered, so. Should be aight. Murktide's also only a 5/5, so they just have to trade for this. Even if they have Dispute, which they showed us they had Dispute in their deck, they could dispute this if I don't draw a land. Even if they do that, they still have to trade and go to 2, and they're still in a horrible spot, right? Even if they have the Dispute, because we can pay for Spell Pierce on bounce. No way out. The perfect song, No Way Out. No way out for our opponent. So they're going to heat the Kavu. Oh, just to make a bigger Murktide? No, they're just dead to this. Okay, sure. Could cheat on the mana base by turning Kavu on a Triad. You know, I wonder if I wonder. So, do you remember? Do you remember the old? I guess I'll play my land first. Do you remember the old? The old like Scapeshift beatdown decks. So, do you remember like the Bloodbraid, the Scapeshift aggro decks that were like Scapeshift with a beatdown plan? On the draw against Luris, as tempting of the hand as Double Dead Gone is, I don't think I'm going to keep it. This hand is significantly better. This is Double Dead Gone with lands. I'm going to put back against Luris. I kind of want to put back the Bloodbraid Elf and just go Dead Gone on 1, tap land, Dead Gone on 2, and then Shardless on 3. Because this can get Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, I think I'll put back the Bloodbraid Elf. Putting back Elf is worse if they're a discard spell deck. Yeah, because I would want both Cascade spells at that point, but... okay, that's good for me. And I also can beat Drown, so I don't even have to... I can just wait till their combat step. You have a second Ragavan? Channeler. Okay, now I can just dead main phase, play tap land. Next turn, Overgrown Tomb Shardless, turn after Scion, and we are chillin'. Alright, well, I got 2 good spells. I can only take one of them. Probably take this one, right? Yep, makes sense. Let's get Overgrown Tomb. I guess it's just better to get this, right? Technically better. There's no reason not to. What's this? Ragavan. I'll take a green source. Ask and you shall receive. They could draw a land for Drown. Should I main phase this Endurance? What if I main phase the Endurance and target myself? This is kind of close. Green gives Trample, right? Huh. No, I'm just going to pass. It's a little greedy, but I think passing is fine. Okay. Well, I'm not, right? And there's definitely... Well, I guess Blackleaf Cliffs probably means Rakdos, right? Probably doesn't mean Grixis. It's a good point. Blackleaf Cliffs probably means Rakdos and not Grixis. Set inside of me. They could bolt this. Why not target self with it on the stack? With what, the Drown? What do you mean? No, if they have Drown, like if they have Drown in their deck and I hold up the Endurance and just like pass and hold up the land, they can just counter the Endurance when I go to cast it. Like if they peel a land, they can just counter the Endurance, you know what I mean? Get a little aggressive here and play this. Now our Fury has First Strike. Just what we always wanted. Y'all ever seen a Fury with First Strike? Alright, double Blackleaf Cliffs is almost certainly Rakdos, right? Unless they're like the Yendrick Grixis deck, which I think plays Blackleaf Cliffs, but... Okay, Rakdos confirmed. Rakdos confirmed. Lethal in play, correct. And there's almost no way they can get out of this. Unless my computer crashes. Shout out to computer crashing, huh? Triple strike. What was that card from Unglued? The one that had like super haste? Do you remember? You know the one I'm talking about? Man, these games are easy, huh? Was it three-headed goblin? Is that what it is? Oh, Turbo Slug, yes. It's like turbo-powered rocket slug or something, or rocket-powered turbo slug. That's what it is, yeah. Rocket-powered turbo slug, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Super haste. Yeah, this deck low-key actually feels pretty cracked, huh, Def Jad? And I haven't been sideboarding much at all. We haven't found, like, it's funny how, like, I think our sideboard plan is really good in some matchups, but we just haven't played those matchups yet, you know? Again, I think none of these cards are really that good against Rakdos. I think I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Got a Fury. Yeah, like, I think the Fury is the card that makes the most sense to cut, because 2-fronting yourself against Thoughtseize is not good, so... Alright, let's keep running it back. There are no Rhinos, correct. That's intentional. The idea behind this deck planer is your cascade spells, you're always cascading into Territorial Kavu, and Territorial Kavu is just like a good card in a lot of situations. And the cool thing about that is you get to dodge a lot of the cascade hate. Like, you get to dodge Chalice, and you get to dodge Engineered Explosives. And then what you also do is in matchups where, like, let's say, for example, you play against Hammer Time, and you have Stony Silence and Kataki, right? So you get to bring in the Stony Silence and Kataki, cut the Kavus, and you just have, 7 copies of these cards in your deck. So, calling it 5-head Zoo. Alright, well, they have 3 card types, so I should probably dead gone this Channeler now, right? I think I'm going to go Steam Vents into Indatha Triome. Although, maybe I need 2 green sources, huh? Maybe I should go Stomping Ground in Indatha Triome, but then I don't have blue. I don't really need blue for this, though, right? I'm just going to be casting Fire most of the time. Yeah, I want to make sure I have double green. Could have just played Mountain on turn 1, too, but... Yeah, just burn for Sunset Revelry. I don't even know if that's better than just playing Weather the Storm, either. I think Weather the Storm might make more sense in the Sunset Revelry spot, but... I don't know, they're both pretty backbreaking against burn, I think Weather is maybe better if you just naturally draw it, but it's pretty close. Okay, so now I'm just going to go Foothills Pass. And then if they dash the Ragavan, we just destroy them. I don't think they're going to be dashing Ragavan this turn. Here we get double lifelink with Armadillo Cloak? I have not, no. These failures will not end. Okay. How do we want to approach this? So we know they have Ragavan in hand. What I could do is fetch a tap land and then go untap, Fury, Pitch, Fire Ice, kill those 2, and then Pyromancer, discard the Endurance in the land. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, Demora. I think I like that. What land do I want to fetch is the question. I kind of want to make sure... Like, I don't have an Esper Triumph, so I can't get 5 colors off of just these lands. So it's a question of, do I want blue or green? Because I can get, I guess, Rogrin Triumph. Because I don't have Breeding Pool, I can't get Breeding Pool. So it's like, do I get... I probably just get Indatha? I don't have Ketria. I have Indatha and Rogrin. I think Indatha, because I have 4 Endurances in my deck. And I have more Steam Vents. Yeah, I'm going to get Indafa. I think that makes more sense. Drew the Steam Vents too, so perfect. So now we can go Fury, Exile Fire Ice. I think I'm still willing to discard the Endurance. Well, actually, I could just hold up Endurance, right? Isn't that just better? Yeah, don't I just hold up Endurance? Isn't that way better? I think holding up Endurance is pretty dope. Because they still don't have Delirium. So they're going to cast this Heat. Oh, because the Heat gives them Delirium. Oh, but then I just blow them out with the Endurance main phase? Oh my god. Yeah, this is a good turn. This is a good turn, chat. And I get to Endurance main phase, which is better if they have another Heat, because now they can't kill the Endurance. Yeah, that was gross. Some fat clouds from Phil Lesh. It's their best follow-up. So the last card's Ragavan. I think I just play land and pass. Just play land and pass. I think I am going to Edict them, but I don't want to take a Ragavan hit. I fucked up. I should have played the Steam Vents last turn, because I could have had a Steam Vents in play instead of this Mountain, and now if I draw... I guess if I draw Draco, I can still cast it, so it's not too bad. Tell me that I'm gonna be fine, and there's nothing left to fear. So they probably just go play Ragavan, pick up Lurrus. I'd love to draw a Bloodbraid Elf. Any Bloodbraid Elves? Any Bloodbraid Elves? Well, I'll settle for a Shardless, but I'd prefer to draw Bloodbraid Elf. They're not picking up Lurrus. Why would they do that? They have Kolaghan's Command. So I could cycle in response to try and hit a Dead Gone. Huh. The only card I could hit is Dead Gone. There's no reason not to, right? Like, it's completely random. Yeah, there's almost no reason not to. Well. Well, there's no reason not to. It's random either way, right? Like, the top card of my library is random. You know what I mean? Like, what's the reasoning for not cycling? Obviously, the reasoning is if I draw a spell, I can't cast it, but the top card of my library is always random, right? Still cast that. Attack first. Attack is so bad if they found Kolaghan's Command, but I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna attack. Please don't draw Kolaghan's Command. Just when you're posting YouTube by going back to your old job or still streaming after that, I will be, Daniel. It's just going to be smaller streams, shorter streams. I'm going to be doing the 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. I'm going to try to be streaming. The new schedule is going to be Monday through Thursday, 6 to 10 Eastern, and then Saturday is going to be the normal full stream of, you know, the challenges and whatnot on Saturdays. So just going to be different times and shorter streams, but I am still going to try and stream. I wouldn't let you guys down, you know. All right, well, this could also be a Lurrus attack. I have to call. Yeah, looks like it was just a Lurrus attack. It's kind of what I thought it was going to be. All right, Bloodbraid Elf, Shardless Agent. Oh, Shardless Agent's bad. I don't have blue mana. Bloodbraid Elf. That works too, huh? Attack with both? Let's do it. So they go to 5? I mean, even a land wouldn't have been a bad draw because I had the Pyromancer, but I'll take back-to-back Scions. Good thing we cycled, huh? Good thing we cycled, huh? So they probably just attack with everything, right? I think I blocked the Ragavan. Because even if they go to 8 and I still have... Yeah. Because they go to 8 and then I still have 8. I think this makes sense. Because you know the card that's going to go and will be lost. A land cycling will also mean removing card into your deck. It's not card you want to land. They're a bad outcome only possible if you cycle. No, because I had Dead Gone. There was literally a card I could have hit to cast. The whole reason for cycling is because I have 3 Dead Gones in my deck. It's not like I'm cycling into hitting nothing. I have a spell that I can cast off of cycling. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you have any spell in your deck to cast off of the 1 mana, it's 100% correct to cycle. I can't think of a reason not to. Because it's a random card either way, and you have the opportunity to cast a spell. You know? Okay, what do they have? A Terminate here? I mean, I'm just shoving, right? Because worst case, I can just Pyromancer if I need to. Yeah, they're dead. Chat with 3-0 with this deck. Is this deck just secretly broken? Alright, opponent's got a Lurrus. This hand's really good. This hand's really good. One too many lands, but... Cascade requires it to be cast from hand. What do you mean? How much do I want to hold up? See, here's my issue with this hand. If I lead on Dead Gone, hold on. Let me check my mana base for a second. Red, green, white, red. Yeah, see, it's really awkward. Man, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to sequence this hand. I guess I can play a fetch to split the difference. Bajan with the 8 months. Thank you so much for the 8 months. 8 months of eating good in Doom. I think I'm just gonna play the fetch land to split the difference. I know what you meant. Fetch for Steam Vents. Well, the problem with Fetch for Steam Vents is I can't play Scion on 2 if I do that. Yeah, see, I kind of have to kill this, right? I mean, I'm kind of glad that I did this, but... I mean, this is actually pretty good, right? Because I get to go kill this, ice this, and then play Scion on 3, which I think is fine. I think that's a fine curve, right? Let's get Steam Vents. Why not lead on Triumph? Because I have a Dead Gone. And I wanted to be able to kill a 2-drop, Paladin or something. So now what land am I getting? Just forests? I think just forests. And that'd be blue, red, green, and then turn 3, play this tapped, play this. And then turn 4, I can get basic land, play Scion, hold up this. Okay, yeah, I like that. But yeah, I wanted to be able to give myself the option of casting Fire Ice, and if they don't play anything, I can just fetch for a Triumph, you know? Like, if they choose to not play, if they don't have a 2-drop, then I can just go end step, fetch Triumph, untap, still play my Scion, right? It would have been the same thing. You know what I mean? basic forest in case they play Blood Moon. The old Blood Moon Luris deck, huh? You never know. Alright, they revealed Shadow Spear, and they're casting Shadow Spear. Okay. Interesting. Could just do that. Still think it's better to play the Scion here, because it allows me to get my tap land into play. Playing around Wish for Blood Moon. Now that's 5-head. Gotta always play around Wish for Blood Moon. You never know. Anybody could have it. Mastermind's Acquisition. I think Wish is more reasonable, right? They got a bobble. They got a bobble. Bobble. You do never know. That is correct. Nobody ever knows. Cryptic Command. Just hammer control. Okay. This is getting scary. This is getting a little scary. Okay. Just attack and hold up Dead Gun, or Fire Away. Change them. So they go to 13. And then it's a 2-turn clock. Okay, this plays. Yeah, that's actually the more common version of Hammer Time being played now. It's got Mana Leak in the sideboard. It's not Mana Leak main deck, but it's got Mana Leak in the sideboard. Okay, that's fine, because I can just bounce the Construct token. I could also ice it. It's better to bounce it or ice it. It's probably better to... No, it's probably better to bounce it in case I draw a second Fire Ice, right? Because then it's just lethal. I think it's better to bounce it. How long has it been a thing? It's been a thing since this weekend, because it won the challenge this weekend. But prior to this weekend, it really wasn't that much of a thing. Bounce and fire the 2 Sentinels. I could do that too. Or just, like, hold up the Fire Ice. Alright, I'm just going to attack and pass. Yeah, I'm just going to attack and pass. No reason to make a move now. Just wait until they do something. They have a chump blocker, but... Now they have 2 chump blockers. Okay, crack that. Need them to not find Paladin. Alright, they didn't find Paladin, cool. Game 2. I don't get why Invisible Stalker didn't take off in Hammer. Yeah, in the blue versions, I think it does make sense, right? Alright, we're going to try our sideboard plan, chat. So, bring in the Stonies, bring in the Kataki, bring in the Forces, bring in the Alpine Moons. So, question, do we like all 5 of these to be able to cascade into? It's kind of weird, like... Part of me doesn't want the Alpine Moons, but... This is 59. Green card count is really low. We only have 10 green cards for Forces. Maybe I keep it in Endurance just for a green card. Just submit this. I could play Lavinia too, but Lavinia is a little bit more awkward to cascade into because it's, like, it's not going to be good in a lot of spots. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Alpine Moon is definitely the weakest thing we can hit off of Cascade. But what's our other option? Just bring in Endurance to have more green cards? Like, do you think our deck looks better if we do it this way? Just no moods and play Endurances. And then we can only hit these off of Cascade. It's close, right? I don't know. It probably looks better with the Alpine Moons. Because Endurance is just so bad. Endurance doesn't do anything. Let's try this. One moon? Maybe. But, like, drawing moon on turn 1 is pretty good, too, right? Like, that's where it's at its best. It's just in your opening hand, so you don't have to cascade into it as much. This hand's cracked, by the way. Which is semi-diff, Jed. Ren, Ragavan, Goyf, Kavu, Dread, Elf, Loam, Tribal Flame, Sleep Shift. This is, like, exactly what I was thinking of. This looks dope. This deck list looks sick. I think I'd want more lands. I think I'd play the 25th land over the Loam. Because, like, Loam's an awkward cascade. And I think it's kind of slow. Maybe you could just board the Loams, but I love everything else about that deck list. That deck list looks sick. I am in love with that deck list. Okay, there's the Saga. Saga's pretty good against my hand. Yeah, my hand's looking kind of awkward now, huh? So we can go Rogrin. Alright, go. This is a pretty good hand against Fury Dead Gone. If you hit Borrower off of Bloodbraid, you can cast either side of Borrower. Yes. Same with Bonecrusher Giant. Enigmatic coming in with the 5 months. Thank you so much for the 5, Enigmatic. A little late to the party, huh? I think we have to... Oh, wait, our Shardless is gone. They thought used it. Never mind. Fuck. We're in a really bad spot, huh? I was going to say we Shardless and hope to hit Alpine Moon, but... I could Pyromancer, discard some lands. I could Stony tap land, but they just make 2 tokens. I guess Pyromancer into Force of Vigor green card is maybe my out. I just don't think Stony does anything. They just get to make 2 tokens, right? They make 2 tokens and they're 5/5s, so I can't even Fury them. I think I have to try and Mise Force of Vigor. I think that's my only way out of this. I mean, I guess I can Dead Gone. So I guess I could go Stony, tap land, next turn, bounce a token, Fury the other one. Yeah, that's a good point, because I can Gone a token. Yeah, okay, alright. I guess that might be my best line. But yeah, Gone does kill a token. If they have Hammer in hand, though... Oh, you know what? Well, it wouldn't matter, because it's a 3/3. I was going to say I maybe should have played my lane untapped first, because they can go make a token, float the mana, and then play Drum. Or Hammer, excuse me, but it's a 3/3, so it wouldn't matter. Yeah. It'd be a 3/3 anyways, so... So if they don't have an artifact, I can kill both of their tokens. It's 15 damage. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. You thought you had any chance this game. Opponent's like, nah, I just did Hammer Time things. Gotta love Hammer. Gotta love it, chat. Big round of applause for Stony Silence. Stony Silence MVP. Yeah, thankfully they don't let you play with Blazing Shoal. Thank God they don't let you play with Blazing Shoal, am I right, chat? Alright, I think I'm gonna play the Moon on one because of Thoughtseize and curve considerations. Fuck you, Saga. I mean, Stony Silence is good against some of their draws, but it obviously does not line up very well against their Urza Saga draws. It is good against some of their draws, though. Teferi's too slow, I think. Okay. See what they get. Probably a hammer. I think I'm going to EOT Dead the Mystic because I want to just be mana efficient. Definitely doing it now. I'm trying a land kind of sucks. Maybe they'll go for it. Maybe they'll go for it, Copium. Wonder if I F6 and then on F6 if they're more likely to go for it. I should have F6'd immediately. Okay, second hammer, kind of a beat. Oh my god! Come on! I'm not gonna bounce the Stoneforge Mystic. It's so sick. God, that's so sick. Alright, find Force of Vigor. Come on, Force of Vigor, please. Force of Vigor, please. That one should be good enough. Force of Vigor, please. Shit. I can't bounce the Inkmoth. It's not a creature right now. You can only bounce creatures. I can cast Shardlesses and just try to YOLO into exactly the one Alpine Moon. It's my only out, right? Stony doesn't do it, and Kataki doesn't do it, so I have exactly one moon that I can hit, and I can name Inkmoth. Spyro? No, because I don't have mana to cast it if I Spyro, right? I think I just have to Shardless and hit exactly the one Alpine Moon. I think I have literally no other outs. I have one Alpine Moon that I can cascade into. Alright, dealer. It's not gonna do it. Wouldn't Kataki also do it? No, they don't even have to pay for this. They just don't pay, animate, attack, and... Stony lets you chump at least since they can't reactivate. They don't have to reactivate. They animate, attack, they have a Sigarda's 8 in play. Once I don't block, then they just... You know what I mean? I don't know why they played the hammer. I mean, I guess they know I'm dead because they know my hand, but... Their draw was so perfect. It's tough. I think this should be an okay matchup, especially after board, but... Jera, thank you so much for the 7 months. Really appreciate that. Sad hammer indeed. Alright, as soon as they see the line, I will hit the concede button. Show me that you see the line. Okay. Seems like they may have not seen the line. Did they forget they can't reactivate it? Wait. Oh, it's not Stony, it's Kataki. Never mind. Okay, never mind. No. They had enough mana anyways. Because for some reason I was thinking it was Stony, but yeah, I'm dumb. Alright. This may be Jund Saga. Could be Rakdos. It's a good draw. Yeah, we also didn't draw Force of Vigor.
If you draw one Force of Vigor against Hammer, it's usually good enough. Thank you for stopping by, NeoDeus. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your new year. Or enjoy the rest of your previous year, I should say. I think too much. They could have Red Source Bolt. Like, sack this, kill this, bolt. Not too bad. I could have bounced their Ragavan, but I think that's kind of a poor use of my resources. This is not great if they have Bolt, but I can Edict the Ragavan next turns. Dark Confidant, huh? Dark Confidant. I think I just don't attack. Thoughts on Bounce Confidant? Just to kind of tempo them out. I'm going to be streaming for the New Year's. I am, because there's that special limited Modern Horizons 2 sealed event. I'll probably double queue that in the challenge. The attack then edicts. Well, they're just going to sack the Ragavan, right? What if I edict first? Because if I edict first and they sack the Ragavan, then I 100% attack. But if I edict first and they sack the Bob, then I just don't attack, right? And the attack doesn't matter? Why wouldn't it matter? Oh, I see what you're saying. Because if I draw a Shardless, then I could just cast that. Okay, yeah, I could find like a Pyromancer or a Shardless. Sure, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that line actually makes sense, I think. I think that line makes sense. Alright. So now I'll just Edict. And they're probably forced to sack the Ragavan? Doing this main phase just in case they want to sack the Bob, but I don't think they're going to. This also gives them less information. Like, if they flip a Ragavan, then they 100% sack the Ragavan, but now they don't have as much information, like, what they hit off the Bob, you know? It's going to look pretty bad when they flip a Ragavan, but they flipped a Bloodstained Mire. Black. Nice Inquisition opponent. Nice Inquisition. Yeah, it's a nice card you got there. It's a nice card you got there. Alright, I'll take 3. I guess I'll take 3. I could kill the Bob, but let's do this. Now we're in the backseat. I think I'm gonna just eat their cards. Because they only have one creature, and I don't want them to be able to sack this and draw heat. Because now this puts them only on sorcery, land, artifact. Kavu's cracked, huh? It's a really good card. Kavu kind of slaps. We got a Catacombs. Okay. That one's probably not going to do it. Yeah, every time I play Zoo, it's just awesome. I love playing Zoo. Yeah, it's like it's a 2-mana 5/5 that just says infinite text. You know what I mean? It's so gross. 2-mana 5/5 that literally does everything. It's so good. Alright, so it's see, this league has felt really weird, you know? Like, we just haven't played against... I mean, I guess we haven't played against Burn or Cascade, which is what these are good against. So we have, like, this for Cascade, this for Burn. We just haven't played those matchups. But doesn't it feel like we just haven't really had that much use of our sideboard plan? Other than Hammer Time, in which these, honestly, like... I kind of agree with what Creatordom was saying earlier, where, like, these cards can be good against Hammer Time, but they're not always good against Hammer Time. So, if there was a card that you could cascade into that was, like, more consistently good across the board against Hammer Time, you know? Def Chad already brewed it up. He put it in chat. I don't know if he still has the link, but Def Chad brewed it up in chat. You like Ataki more than Stony versus Hammer? They're still, like, kind of awkward sometimes, you know? Right, we've just been playing against a lot of mid-rangey decks, you know? I'm going to bring in the Rip, and I'm going to go to Fury. That's what I did against Rakdos. I think it makes sense to do the same thing against Jund. There it is, yeah. Def Chad posted the aggro Scapeshift deck. This deck looks so sick, dude. Chad, what do you think about this deck that Def Chad posted? This deck looks so sick. I might have to play this tomorrow. I love the look of this deck so much, I might fire up a stream tomorrow. Because I have to play this. I'm required to play this. It looks so good. It looks so sick. Oh, man. God, it looks so good. Kind of sus about 4 Bloodbraid Elf. Why? We're a beatdown deck. One should be Throes of Chaos. Why do you want to play Throes of Chaos? Or you're trolling me, okay. Are we a dad joke stream now? Astronaut meme was all along. I'm not very good at dad jokes, though. I got a new case for my phone today, chat. Proud of me? Got a screen protector, too. It took a Territorial Kavu. Oh. The fireworks to ring in the new year. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, I think I just make a 4/4 Kavu because I want to go shock. I want to go kill the Voidwalker and then untap like Kavu. So I'm gonna get a Steam Vents. It's really awkward if I draw Draco, but you know, it is what it is. Ooh, not a Draco, but definitely a welcome draw step. I just like the see-through case, you know? I don't know why, but I just like the see-through case. It's also a little bit cheaper. Gotta have the tempered glass stage screen protector, though. Otherwise, I'll smash my fucking phone. Engineered explosives. Okay. A little awkward because if I Shardless into a Kavu... Well, I guess or a Rest in Peace, then it's the same thing, right? So I guess what I'm going to do is... This is going to get Temple Guard in. Maybe I just discard the Shardless, attack for 5, and then play Endurance. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to discard Shardless. Because Shardless is effectively a 2-drop. Oh, I should have fetched first. God damn it. I needed to fetch... I wasn't going to play the Endurance in combat, but I missed a point of damage. Because I know I'm going to get Temple Garden anyways. Why not Fire Ice? I guess I have Endurances to blank Ragavan, so I don't really need to keep the Fire Ice. I was worried a little bit about a Ragavan, but... Fire Ice is better against this, right? I hope I don't lose by 1 point of damage. Because there was no reason not to fetch for Temple Guard. I was going to do it anyways. That was just me misclicking. Target you. They're not even close to Delirium, so now they probably just pop this, take 3. Oh. Huh. Should I post-combat that in case I hit a 2-drop? I know that I'm more likely to hit a 3-drop. How bad is it if I Bloodbraid into Kavu? I Bloodbraid into Kavu. Let's say they pop explosives, kill both Kavus. I mean, they could just have a removal spell in their hand, right? They go like pop EE, kill the 2 Kavus, kill the Bloodbraid Elf, go to 9, and I don't have much left after that. Okay, well, I guess they made it easy on me. Alright, well, I guess our decisions are irrelevant. I wanted to see, can I draw a card? What would we have hit? We would have hit... We would have hit Shardless. So we would have Shardlessed into Kavu. Yeah, the tank scoop. Alright, let's open our chesties. We actually get chests from this league. Didn't get chests from the last league, because we went 0-5. Hello, that's a Marsh Flats and a Collector Oof. What's the price on Collector Oof? I feel like it's tanked. It used to be a lot, but... Is Nettlesys money? I don't think Nettlesys is money. 4 tickets, I'll take that. Okay. So, final thoughts. You thought tonight was New Year's? No. Final thoughts on this deck list. I love this deck. I don't know if you're watching the replay during Munchie, but this deck was awesome. I think the main deck is really close to where I'd want to be. I could consider the 4th Fury over one of the faraways. But I love everything else in the main deck. The one thing that I will say is I think you need better sideboard cards for Hammer Time. I don't know what that would be. Chat, can you think of a 2-drop? Like a 2-mana card that you can Shardless into that's lights out against Hammer. Like, what's the best possible 2-mana card that you can hit against Hammer? Yeah, maybe just 4 4s. Maybe you go like 4 Vigor and keep in the Kavus against Hammer. I don't know. Kavu's not bad against Hammer Time, is it? Yeah, maybe just play 4 Forces. And just don't sideboard in the 2-drop stuff against Hammer. Yeah. Like, I feel like all the 2-drops have, you know, spots where they're good, but they're not like just... They don't just end the game on the spot. Like a Leyline of the Void against Living End or something like that, you know? Yeah, you can't Agent into Palm. Honestly, it might just be right to play 4 Force of Vigor. That might be the best play, is just like cut this stuff, play 4 Force of Vigor, and then just keep in the Kavus against Hammer Time and just cut Endurance for Force against Hammer Time and just make that clean swap. That's honestly probably the best way to go about it. Yeah. It's probably your best bet. The Hammer Time matchup did feel kind of bad, but every other matchup was pretty easy. Like, this deck seems kind of good. If you can fix the Hammer Time matchup, this deck might be pretty sick. What about Chalice sideboard versus Hammer? Cascading of the Chalice is not good. Like, you have Shardless Agent and Bloodbraid Elf, you know? Like, ideally what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a 2-drop that you can cascade into postboard against Hammer that is just, like, quote-unquote lights out, but... What about Grudge? I think Grudge is just worse than Force. Yeah, it's like, even on the play, Chalice is not even that great, because if they just go, like, land, drum, guy, Sigarda's Aid, it's like, I don't know. I think I'd probably just play more Force of Vigors at that point. These for burn makes sense. Maybe a second Rest in Peace, because you're cutting 3 of these cards. Play 2 Forces and a second Rest in Peace. So then you have Drannith and Lavinia against Cascade. You have 2 Rest in Peace against Dredge. You have 3 Revelry against Burn. Alpine Moon. I'm not sold on the Alpine Moons either, because I also wanted to bring these in against Hammer. Maybe that's the move, is you just play, like, you cut the Kavus for Alpine Moons against Hammer, and then you have 4 Force of Vigor, and then 6 copies of Alpine Moon, right? That could be a plan too, but...